This video was made possible by a grant from
By our silence, we let other people define us.
RICARES, putting a face and a voice on recovery in Rhode Island.
I think that's one of the great benefits of this rally is really it's so important that we work together as a community, as a state, as a country to remove the stigma which is still attached to mental illness and substance abuse and addiction. It has to be treated like every other illness that exists, and it not only has to be treated the same way in terms of resources but in terms of the delivery of services.
I am passionate, and I've stayed 14 years in the government.
Well, I want you to know that if you look around here,
this is like Oprah. I come from a family of alcoholics. My father was an alcoholic. My brother is not, he just relapsed from being probably the longest he's been in sober for 8 weeks, so I really do this because I think it's important for children to grow up in healthy households.
I think that we spent a long time when recovery from addiction was something that had to be done in the dark. It had to be done in an environment of shame and embarrassment, and all of that set us back as a country. It set the individuals back who had to walk that difficult path. They did it anyway because this is a moment of real bravery in people's lives, but it made it a lot harder, and it caused much more disruption in their lives than needed to happen. So the more we can be upfront and non-judgmental about this, the better off we'll be in terms of the recovery, and frankly the better off we'll be as a nation.
We at SAMHSA and at the Center for Mental Health Services, along with the Center for Substance Abuse Treatment and Prevention, have promoted recovery for years, and we have really worked very hard to make sure that the kinds of treatments and supports that are so important to people in recovery are available.
One of the joys of having my job here in Rhode Island, my home state, is that things are up close and personal. I encounter people all the time in the community, and I hear their stories. They come up and they talk, and it's very moving. I remember one recently where a man who spotted me at McDonald's came up and said, "Those programs in the prison saved my life. I got myself clean, I got myself sober, I'm in recovery, and I want you to meet my young son," who was standing there beaming next to me.
And I thought that was important as well. I think it's important that we come out and we recognize that there are people who are so brave and have faced their problems and are in recovery, and that we need to work together to make sure to help them, their families, and recognize how important that is.
I think it's fantastic. Congratulations to Rhode Island. I'm so proud to be a Rhode Islander, and I'm carrying this message back to Washington, D.C., that this is the place that knows how to do it.
It's great. I remember when this rally began several years ago when I was mayor of Providence, and it began much smaller than this. It has grown dramatically, which I think is a great sign that people are coming together as a community to support people in recovery, to help people who are struggling with recovery, and to celebrate their sobriety.
It's a great celebration. I think Rhode Island, it's one of my favorite. This is the 3rd year in a row that I come to Rhode Island, and I think it's, with Jimmy and Craig and Steve and so many great people here, and the members of Congress and the Senate that came around today. I think it lauds tremendously well for the future of people in recovery in Rhode Island.
I think it's terrific. As I've moved through the crowd, I've recognized many people from my professional life and also from my personal life, and I think it's tremendously courageous of them not only to make the leap into recovery, but to be willing to stand up and tell the world, this is who I am, this is what I've been through. It would be so easy to hide, and I think this gives other people courage and hope.
Join us at The Anchor, Rhode Island's first recovery community center, a safe, supportive environment for people in all stages of recovery. Find us on the web at anchorrecovery.org.